to you by Mercedes-Benz. Have you ever driven a Mercedes-Benz, Chris? Because you need to get one. Now, I know you're doing sidelines. Why don't you just pull up that sideline job in a Mercedes? It would just fit you perfectly. Nice job last night. Okay, I love me some Zion. And you know what? This is the thing. A lot of critics of him. Joy, we liked Zion.
We love Zion.
A lot of people are nitpicking. We kept saying his self-awareness. He is, I loved at Duke. The shoe blows up. Everybody's like, you can't play. He's like, I like basketball. I want to play. And he says, you got to go to the NBA. He's like, I'd actually prefer staying in college, but for business, I'm going to go. There's something about this kid. There's an earnestness and a likability. And by the way, Chris, I'm watching him last night. He got how many free throw attempts? 17? He is a problem. He's played 13 games, 12. He's been exceptional.
Yeah. What I'm impressed by, Colin, is that, look, we know he's physical. We know he's big and strong. But he was pushing Markieff Morris out the way like it wasn't even a problem. I'm like, this is Markieff Morris. Like, there's a couple players like you don't mess with in the league. Markieff Morris is one of those dudes. And then he was taking it right at AD.
Right at him. No hesitation. Right at him.
That was impressive. That was downright impressive. That was my first time watching him live.
Look at these moves. Look at the power. God, I love watching him.
You know what? And for his skill set, the way he's built, it's just unprecedented. We've never seen anybody like this.
I think he's got. The more I watch him, I see Sean Kemp with a little better touch. He's got a beautiful left-handed touch. Sean was really a power player.
Yeah. I see that, and there's comparisons to Charles Barkley as well, but there's nobody like him, Colin. The size, the way he gets up. There was a play where he grabbed the offensive rebound. He was challenging Dwight Howard for the rebound, and he was just so much higher than Dwight Howard off the ground. It was ridiculous.
What's the reaction inside of Staples for him? What is the buzz? Can you sense the buzz?
Oh, you definitely can sense the buzz. Like this was, it was the Lakers and Pelicans, but it had the buzz and intensity of a playoff game, like these two teams were.
Oh, I sat for rivals. 2.5 hours, watched every second of it.
It was, this guy, he's box office, period. Box office. He's a guy, when you get the ball to him in space, he can make, he can do some unbelievable
what's amazing,
things. Chris?
They don't now the Pelicans are funny because they just run. Right? They don't do many set plays. They
it's
run
fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. He's getting these numbers. They're not designing a bunch of plays for him. He's rolling out of bed and getting you 27. It's not like, you watch certain teams. You see Steph Curry coming off the screens. They're setting Steph up. There's plays. He's getting 26. Not a lot of numbers called for him. It's just get me the ball in space and let me go.
Let me go. Pin downs and things like that. But not really any called plays for him to go ISO. But that's when he's going to be a problem, because those plays are going to come eventually. He's going to be the number one option sooner or later, and that's going to add 8 or 10 more points just right there. And so, look, like I said, my only thing is, I want the kid to stay healthy.
Yes.
I want to see him have a long, prosperous career, just to see what his potential is going to be.
Yeah, everybody tells me he should thin down. How about you try stopping him at 270 before everybody lectures Zion on occasional Twinkies he knocks down at halftime? Because I keep hearing about how thin he's got to get, and I'm like, no, Charles Barkley was a problem.
Yeah.
He had a big butt, and Charles was hard to defend, and Charles was big, and he was never in the world's best shape, but Charles Barkley in transition was a problem. Zion in transition, you try to stop this kid when he's coming at you. I remember when LeBron broke in this league. People were like, I'm not taking a charge on that.
Yeah. Suicide.
No way. Okay.
But that's why, not to cut you off real quick, but that's why I say he's an unprecedented figure, because most humans and athletes, we're going to naturally get bigger. Whether that's, lifting weights, bulk up, humans, naturally, that happens. Does that happen for Zion? Can he afford for that to happen? Does he stay the same, or does he have to, lose 10 or 15? That's why I say, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. And that's why I say it's unprecedented.
I know what the answer is. 27.5 points a night, shooting 52%. That's what the answer is.
So stay the same.
Again, you can tell me. People used to tell me, you can't talk this, this, and this. And I said, well, if I get ratings, I can talk anything.
Yeah.
Never bring up politics. And I was like, well, okay. Well, I used to talk them and get numbers. So everybody's trying to smush everybody back in the middle. Just be who you are.
That's what I said.
Zion, lean into those Twinkies.
We don't know this is Twinkies, Colin.
Whatever he's eating. I'm over here now. He's got to thin down because nobody can stop him at this weight. Chris Haynes coming back. Don't go anywhere. Some thoughts on the Lakers and the Giannis rumor to the Warriors next. You know, in Cleveland without Kyrie. Have you watched Kyrie's act since LeBron and him separated? He's hurt again and uncoachable again. And Brooklyn's got a better record when he doesn't play again. And Boston now is way better without him. Y'all kept telling me it was a Kyrie thing. Kyrie's career borders on bust as a #1 pick if you take the LeBron years out. People were saying before LeBron got there, uncoachable, always hurt, nobody likes him. LeBron left, all that stuff come back. Nobody likes him, uncoachable, doesn't win, and he's hurt again. As a #1 pick, Kyrie's career, take LeBron out, he's just gifted like the rest of this league. You can't get to this league without being gifted. You just can't get it. I mean, I've gone to events that have had baseball players and hockey players and basketball players, NBA players, and NFL players. NBA players just look different. The length, the size. I mean, they're just gifted. And they're all great at something. And several are like out of this world at something, like Damian Lillard shooting, Steph Curry shooting. But to watch LeBron last night, he does everything well. Last night, he's an old man. He had 17 fast break points. That's like an old man going up to Usain Bolt and go, "Excuse me, young man, I'm gonna be in lane 3," running past him. He had 17 fast break points. So, and you know what's funny about this? For years and years, you kept telling me about Anthony Davis. Okay, you kept telling me about him, and I like Anthony Davis. I think he's the top 5-6 player in the league. But when you put Anthony Davis and LeBron together on the same team, you guys see the gap, right? Like Anthony Davis, 60th in the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. Last night, Anthony Davis, 6 for 20. Last night, Anthony Davis hurt again. When you put LeBron and AD on the same floor, it is the Grand Canyon of a gap. You can keep hating on this guy and criticizing this guy. I mean, old man flex last night. Good for LeBron. Okay, here's a rule. And I'm going to say it. Who is Nick Saban's best friend in coaching, Joy?
Bill Belichick.
Winners like winners. Winners don't like hanging around losers. Winners don't like hanging around mediocre people. Stars hang out with stars. Winners hang out with winners. And the NBA, more than any league in the world, maybe international soccer is close, is a star-driven league. LeBron stayed in Cleveland for years, and then he went to the Olympics. He was like, I can play with guys like that. And LeBron came back to Cleveland. He's like, I want to go play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. LeBron for years stayed in Cleveland, and he was loyal, and he didn't leave. And then he started sampling playing with other great players. It's like, damn, you're going from like a steak, like that's a steakhouse, and just getting a steak. You can go to a lot of restaurants and get a steak, but you go to a good steakhouse and get a steak, you're like, that. You stop going to the other restaurants that also have steak on the menu, but they're not steakhouses. So Giannis is a star. We know Milwaukee does not attract free agents. It doesn't. It's like Utah. It's a great NBA franchise, but they don't attract free agents. Here's a rumor, and it's not a bad one, and I believe it to be true. The Warriors acquired Andrew Wiggins for one reason, to get Giannis. Remember, Wiggins makes a lot of money. In order to trade for Giannis, you have to have a huge salary. Wiggins makes a lot of money. They're also going to have the #1 pick in the draft and Minnesota's pick, which will be a lottery pick. Can Milwaukee do better than Andrew Wiggins and 2 lottery picks? I'll say it again. The key to this league, because this would change the league, if he goes to Golden State. It will change the league. You thought Durant and the Warriors were good. Durant gone. Giannis, Steph, Draymond, and Clay. No, thank you. That you might as well just set your clock to those guys in the finals. If Chris Middleton for Milwaukee does what he did last year in the playoffs and shrinks, Giannis is gone. Winners want to hang out with winners. Stars want to hang out with stars. Belichick and Saban. Belichick has to go to college to find a guy he wants to hang out with. Saban's got to go to the pros to find a guy he wants to talk to. Winners hang out with winners. Last year, Chris Middleton, in that series against Toronto, had one game over 14 points. We know about the NBA. The refs, Joy and I talk about this, the refs swallow the whistle. The refs don't want to get in the way of the series. And so what happens in the NBA playoffs, guys who are not comfortable in that physical space, they shrink. James Harden shrinks.